Coming up on Hunter News Now, Hunter College students prepare to elect a new student government that represents them.
Student engagement is up 500% at Hunter Hillel, and the new executive director tells us why.
And find out what students think about the recent and ongoing data breach at Facebook in this week's edition of Hunter Students Speak. All that and more on Hunter News Now. Welcome to Hunter News Now. I'm Victor Tiburcio.
And I'm Naisha Pete.
Elections for a new student government president are taking place this week. And to help get out the vote, the party known as the Hunter United is serving pancakes all day, every day. Intuzar Singh is the candidate from a Hunter United, and he's running against independent candidate Jessica Union. Both Singh and Union are promising to fight a CUNY proposal that gives students less control over activity fees that are paid every semester. Students don't have to wait until graduation to start looking for jobs in their field, thanks to the Hunter College Career Fair. According to Forbes.com, 1 out of 40 college graduates is unemployed, but Career Development Services is doing its part to help students and alumni meet recruiters, show off their resumes, and promote their best attributes to potential employers. Alexandra Ali has more on how this year's Career Fair is helping Hunter students get that first interview.
I thought, why not go somewhere where to a place I trust, because I feel like they're trustworthy enough to bring the right kinds of employers to offer me jobs, and real jobs.
Meet Jeet Dutt Mazumdar, a Hunter alumnus who graduated in 2016 with a degree in English literature and philosophy. 2 years later, he is still trying to find a job.
No one's given me an opportunity to really hunt for them. It's largely been a large brick wall.
He'll soon be in good company with about 700 Hunter seniors receiving their diplomas on May 30th, and many of them also looking for jobs. Hunter's Career Development Services is doing its part to make the transition from classroom to workplace smoother. Here at Hunter College Career Fair, over 80 employers have come out to recruit Hunter College alumni and students. This event is hosted once every fall and spring and helps make the job search a little bit easier. One of the many employers at the event, Orly Levin, a recruiter from 92nd Street Y Camps, says students need to be ready to promote themselves.
The best advice is to put your best foot forward. Really bring yourself to your resume, to your application. The more experience that you can share with us that you've had working with, for us it's children or whatever field you're working in, the better it makes you sound as a candidate. And everyone has something specific that they bring to the table that no one else can contribute.
Dutt Mazumdar already has a good lead, thanks to the Hunter College Career Fair.
One man who was pleasantly and very professionally aggressive with me and asked me if I would like to go into for an interview with him tomorrow. Nobody else was like that. They said, come to our website, send us an email, and so it seems to have gone pretty well.
That head start on the competition may be helpful because nearly 2 million bachelor degrees will soon be awarded across the U.S. Alexandra Ali, Hunter News Now.
One newspaper that might come in handy to all those students interested in business and finance careers is the Wall Street Journal. Well, thanks to a deal between CUNY and Dow Jones, all Hunter students can now sign up for a digital subscription for free. To activate your school-sponsored Wall Street Journal membership, log on to www.partner.wsj.com.
College acceptances are out, and CUNY reports that freshman applications for the fall semester hit a record high with more than 50,000 students applying for a spot. That's up 11% thanks to the Excelsior Scholarship, which offers free tuition to New York students whose families earn up to $100,000 per year. On March 28th, Hunter College hosted a talk with 2 award-winning journalists, Rachel Oswald and Tom Hundley, about the growing nuclear threat in North Korea. The Pulitzer Center sponsored the talk at the Roosevelt House. Oswald told a sold-out crowd that if we're not careful, a nuclear arms race could start in Asia.
Asia Pacific is going to be the scene of all the big news events in the 21st century. I really believe that.
After the presentations, journalism students and the audience asked questions. Kem Sawyer, the director of the Pulitzer Center Campus Consortium, believes events like these are crucial to informing the public about the underreported international issues.
I always think it's important for journalists to have opportunities to tell their stories. They go around the world, come back with great stories, put them in the newspaper or online, they make videos, but we want to make sure that the stories get heard.
The Pulitzer Center offers grants to professional journalists to cover these kind of underreported stories. In addition, the center offers a fellowship to one Hunter College student every year, giving them the funding to travel to any country to report on an international issue that's not getting enough coverage.
Well, that's quite impressive.
Yeah.
In fact, Victor, we just learned who this year's Pulitzer Center Fellow is. It's journalism student Kadia Goba.
I believe in August I got a text from none other than Pix 11 saying that there was a mudslide that occurred and 1,100 people were believed to have been impacted or died.
The Pulitzer Center awarded her $3,000 to go to Sierra Leone to report on the effects of deforestation in a grassroots effort to raise money through crowdsourcing to buy and plant saplings.
So this project came to mind, and as a result, I pitched the opportunity to Pulitzer and ended up being awarded the grant.
Wow, that's an amazing story. Congratulations to Kadia.
Coming next on Hunter News Now, the Aronson Awards for Social Justice Journalism are coming up in just a few weeks, right here at Hunter College's Lang Hall.
We'll also hear about who's getting the Outstanding Achievement Award and maybe get a sneak peek at the winners with the Aronson organizer, Blanca Vasquez. Stay with us.
Since 1990, the Aronson Awards have honored original written reporting that exposes widespread injustices, the underlying causes, and possible reforms. Many of the entries expose discrimination based on race, class, gender, religion, and sexual orientation. On May 21st, Hunter College will once again host the Aronson Awards.
And joining us to talk about this year's Aronson's Awards is Blanca Vasquez, one of the directors of the Aronson Awards, as well as a professor in the Film and Media Studies Department here at Hunter College. Welcome, Professor.
Thank you.
So first off, can you tell us a little bit about the Aronson Awards and who were they named after?
James Aronson was a mainstream journalist, actually, for most of his life, but he was also a progressive journalist. So, for example, during the McCarthy era, he founded the National Guardian, along with a couple of other journalists, which covered stories that nobody else was, like what was happening in the African-American community.
So we're living in a world where there's so much injustice. We see a lot of things going on, in the news, not only here, but also internationally. So my question is, how can reporting on these injustices like these people have create change in government policies and also in people's minds?
Aronson was also a founder of the journalism program here at Hunter, and he profoundly believed, as I think we all do, that an informed public is necessary to a functioning democracy, and that kind of information, sort of analytical and critical information, also informs social movements. So the public needs to be informed in order to actually organize in its own defense.
Okay.
Now the question that everyone wants answers to. Who is being honored this year at the event?
This year we honor the career of Herb Boyd, who's an African-American journalist, has been covering the African-American community for a lifetime. His latest book, called Black Detroit, is an incredible story of the history of African-Americans in Detroit and the importance of African-Americans to the city, but also the city to the country. I mean, Detroit, for example, was the last stop, right, on the Underground Railroad. From there, abolitionists helped them move into Canada. So it's a very strong focus, for African-American history. We're also honoring an incredible story from The Nation by Emmanuel Felton that looks at the way that the federal government, by failing, to enforce Brown versus Board of Ed and to monitor what school districts are doing, is actually overseeing the resegregation of American schools. So Southern schools, for example, are now more segregated than they were 40 years ago.
Okay. Now, Professor, I have a question, okay? It's a very, very, very spicy one. Who are the winners in this year's event? You got to tell us.
Well, that's one of the winners. The other winners are, we have an article from ProPublica and National Public Radio that looks at the way that American companies hire undocumented workers, and then when they're injured or if they organize, actually report them to immigration for deportation. The writers also follow the workers back to Guatemala, in this case, to show you, what are the forces that propel this labor, but also that they're being recruited to come and work in the United States. There's another critical story that's about black babies. Turns out that African American babies die at more than twice the rate of white babies.
Wow.
And this is another nation story that also looks at that it's not about what mothers are doing or not doing. It's really about this cumulative effect of racial discrimination on the lives of black women. We have a student journalist from Hunter, Nicholas Augustine, who's a senior and a media major, who's written for a number of Hunter publications, the Hunt Points Express, wonderful work. And we will actually invite everybody to come on May 21st, right, to the awards ceremony here at the Lang Theater at Hunter at 6:30 p.m.
Well, thank you, Ms. Vasquez, for being with us today. When we return, do you still feel safe on Facebook? You'll find out how students feel in this edition of Hunter Students Speak.
And we'll tell you which club at Hunter has the most new members. Stay with us. Hunter College just opened a new multi-faith center in the 4th floor of the Thomas Hunter Hall. The new space has room for chaplains and individual religious clubs. One of those clubs, Hunter Hillel, is one of the fastest growing groups on campus. Student membership is up 500% since last August, thanks to its new director. I had the opportunity to meet with them and find out what Hunter Hillel is doing to attract students. Eden Gordisher, a senior at Hunter College, is one of many students now calling Hunter Hillel home.
Through the Hillel, I found a community, and I found a group of a place and a group of people that I can go to and be myself and have a social life throughout Hunter's rigorous course schedule.
Marav Brown, the new executive director, says that when she came to Hunter last June, her top priority was to make Hunter Hillel a club where all students feel welcome and safe to share ideas.
Hillel, the word, is actually somebody's name. He says, listen, the Torah is do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And so that actually is really reflective of the way that we see ourselves as part of the campus community on many college campuses, and specifically here at Hunter.
Students at Hunter Hillel have not only found a community, but also a place of opportunities.
Hillel offers a lot of internships, so just getting active in those, activities really helped me build my resume.
When Marav started, her first goal was to meet all 150 students in the database. She then asked each of them for names of other students to meet. Now with a highly engaged community, her next goal is to promote coexistence among all religious clubs on campus.
So I know we've done some programming with the Sikh and Hindu clubs, and we're working to continue to increase the amount of work that we're doing together, because we understand that this is a very diverse campus, and we're just one piece of it, and we really want to be totally integrated into that.
That message is resonating with students like Rebecca Talal, a member of Hunter Hillel.
I really loved Hillel because they're accepting of not only Jewish people, but of anyone of any type of background. So like if you're like Muslim or Christian or whatever, or any type of background. We also have interfaith events as well. We love Hillel! Yeah.
Victor Tiburcio, Hunter News Now.
Facebook is apologizing to its users for a massive data breach by third-party applications. As many as 87 million users are affected, and most of them didn't even know that their hometown, friends list, and other important information were shared. We asked students how they feel about this loss of privacy and what should be done to make sure it doesn't happen again in this edition of Hunter Students Speak.
If you take someone's information without them wanting you to take the information and you sell it to someone else, like that's just not okay.
People just don't want to be found out. People don't want their information to be leaked out like this.
But I know that there is no repercussions for Facebook for allowing people to breach their data.
And puts all of our private information at the behest of large corporations, which removes like many of the civil liberties.
The problem with the Facebook data leak is because of they licensed their software to Cambridge Analytica.
They would like target specific surveys, including a sexuality comparability quiz and other things to like really get people to take it.
The government needs to regulate Facebook and regulate a lot of the internet and make sure corporations are removed from a lot of these like big corporate spaces, the big like social website spaces.
What would be the most viable solution would be to simply like make things more clear to people who are signing up for Facebook or like providing their information.
I would tell Mark Zuckerberg to continue building their AI to mediate everything, but they have to be more careful about who they send their data to, then they have to be credible sources.
If you took a personality quiz via third-party app on Facebook, you may have been one of those people who unwillingly shared personal information, but you can prevent that in the future by changing your privacy settings. And when we return, we'll do a deep dive in a profile of our student athlete of the week, star swimmer Alexandra Rubiano.
And the scoop on this year's Alumni Reunion, where more than 200 alums turned out to reconnect with classmates and their alma mater.
This has been a busy and challenging season for the women's softball team. So far, its record is 16 wins and 12 losses. But this weekend, the team won both its CUNYAC games against Brooklyn College at Randall's Island.
With only 4 games remaining this season until the championship tournament, the seniors on the team are now feeling the pressure. Outfielder Annalise McCullen drove in 14 home runs so far this year in hopes for a few more before her last season ends.
I cannot believe that this is my last year playing with these girls. I'm really sad to be moving forward. I'm leaving a big part of my life with leaving softball behind.
All-league and all-division right fielder Alicia Dovasak is also a senior who has a .875 batting average so far, which means she's hitting pretty much every softball that comes her way. She's counting on that to continue.
I'm really hoping that we take this championship home my last year, we take it hard and we take it strong and we take it together.
But no matter what happens, Dovasak, who is a recent transfer student, will never forget this experience.
I couldn't ask for a better senior year with the greatest group of girls.
The CUNYAC Women's Softball Championship Tournament begins May 1st and ends May 4th. I think I'm going to go out and support.
Yeah, I'll probably do it too. Well, onto the women's swim team, which closed out its winning season earlier this semester with a second-place finish at the CUNYAC Championships. The Hawk star swimmer, Captain Alexandra Rubiano, also qualified for the Eastern Collegiate Athletic Conference Championships and placed 38th in the 100-yard butterfly. Rubiano swam all four years at Hunter, broke numerous CUNY records, and is graduating this spring with a degree in sociology. Hunter News Now videographer Ezra Wolfgang gives us an inside look into how Rubiano managed to combine athletics with academics without missing a stroke.
There's something that clicks as soon as you hear that buzzer and you get off the diving block, where it's kind of like a systematic pattern. You have to know what step comes next, what you have to do. My name is Alexandra Rubiano. I'm a senior and I'm majoring in sociology. Currently, I am the captain of the swim team, and I've been captain since my sophomore year in college. And I hope to be someone that they could look up to. I think it's a love for the sport that really pushes me to want to do better, and to do my best. My freshman year, this is a trophy won for freshman year. I broke 3 CUNY records, CUNY meet records. 2016, I swam the 4 AM and I broke that record as well in the separate year. And this year we bested the CUNY program record for one of our relays. This is the last stretch for the sport. This is the last time I can really compete on a team, and it's very sad. You know, I've been swimming since I was so little, and I've been competing since I was, 8. And, giving it up after, not really giving it up, but your career ending after so many years, it's like you're closing the book. For swimming-wise in general, it's awesome to know when I hear them talking and they're like, oh yeah, Allie helped me with this or with that. Allie helped me with my flip turn. It's nice to know that this is something I like to do, for me, but I'm also out there helping others to also love the sport. A lot of hard work was put in. I want a lot of people to know that to get where you want to be, you have to put in a lot of hard work.
And finally, Hunter College alums recently gathered to celebrate at their 2018 Alumni Reunion. Our reporter Cesar Perez was there covering the festivities and has this report.
On April 14th, more than 200 graduates returned to Hunter to celebrate the 2018 Alumni Reunion. The call reached out graduates as far as the 1930s. Hunter College President Jennifer Rabb welcomed back home all in attendance.
It is also a great honor that so many alumni from our long history have come back to celebrate their alma mater today.
The graduates also enjoyed a day full of music, speakers, and other fun activities while reconnecting with all classmates. For graduates like Linda Nugent, Hunter offered an opportunity of a lifetime.
I'm the first person in my family to graduate from college, and Hunter made that possible.
For Dr. Clyde Callender, a Howard University Hospital transplant surgeon who graduated in 1959, Hunter is now a beacon of diversity and excellence.
And it's wonderful to see how Hunter College has grown and developed and produced so many leaders of yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
Juan Fabio, who graduated in 1968 with a degree in economics, has some advice for those leaders of tomorrow.
Whatever they pursue, to do it 110%, not just 100%, to work very hard and stay in touch with Hunter and support Hunter, because it's Hunter that gave them the life that they're going to have in the future.
The Hunter Alumni Association, that has been around since 1872, agrees with that and does not charge any membership dues to join. Cesar Perez, Hunter News Now.
Well, Naisha, I'm finally graduating this semester after so many years at Hunter College. And who knows, I'll probably come back next year to the Hunter Alumni Reunion.
Great for you. The alumni reunions are for alumni of all ages, not only senior citizens, so please show up for the millennials.
Yeah, well, let's see. Well, that's all for this edition of Hunter News Now. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube page titled Hunter College Journalism and share this video.
We'll see you next week on another edition of Hunter News Now.